Assalamualaikum. My name is NASARUDDIN bin Muhammad Shukri. Today, I would like to present about the first part of the speech analysis, which is the general introduction of the speech. Let's move on to the first point. So, who is the speaker? The speaker is Susan Cain, 52 years old, an American writer and also a lecturer. Cain is a famous author as she wrote many books. The two best-sellers books in the New York Times list are The Quiet Power, The Secret Strength of Introvert Kids, and Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. These books are already on the seventh year on the list. These books also named as the best book in 2012 by Fast Company. Susan Cain's writing appear in many publications such as the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and also the Atlantic. She is also the chief of Growing Revolution, which is the quiet revolution that championing introversion, spurred on by her viral 2012 TED Talk, The Power of Introverts. Her talk has been viewed more than 25 million times, making it one of the most popular of all times. So, what is the talk about? The topic of this video is about the power of introverts. She explains about introverts and how it is important in our life and also in our society. She argues that the current world culture misinterprets and undervalues the nature and abilities of introvert people. She also believes that being an introvert is very difficult as it will feel shameful, but on the other hand, she also sees that introverts bring various abilities and talents to the society, and it is something that the society should appreciate and celebrate. In this video, she also mentioned the differences between introverts and extrovert leaders, as well as stressing on their importance in leadership. Currently, she is leading a social revolution and urges people to look at virtue of introverts and not the problems. Next, who do you think the audience is? Based on this talk, I think that the audience was composed mostly by adults, such as the students, lecturers, and workers. This is because the topic was focusing on the characteristic of human beings, which should be recognized more in every aspect in the future. This topic is more related to adult life, and it is something that adults should take care of.
My name is Muhammad Iman Hanafi by Aizam, metric number 281531, and I will analyze the first part of introduction, the attention getter. The attention getter method that the speaker used was by telling a story to the audience before focusing on the speech. The speaker told a story about her experience in a summer camping during her teens and briefly explained how was the activity is new for her as she grew up in an antisocial family and had different way of being social. She shared her initial imagination on what camping is all about, which ended up totally different. The speaker also brought and hold a prop bag suitcase with her, which stimulated the audience inquiry to know what will be told by the speaker and what was inside the suitcase. Along with the story, the speaker had also sung a cheer song her counselor taught during the summer camping with a happy and cheerful intonation, and also made some jokes about the camping. In my opinion, I agree that the speaker was using a good attention getter method by telling a story. The combination of jokes, cheer song, and prop black suitcase will succeed to grasp the audience interest, as I can hear the applause and laughter. This helped the speaker to enlighten her topic as an attention getter suit well. Reveal the topic. After she tell a glimpse of a story, Susan revealed the topic that she wanted to talk about. Based on the video headline, this speech was entitled The Power of Introvert. However, the speaker did not clearly state and mention the topic, but somehow I truly believe that the audience know what the speech will be about, as Susan started to focus on the introvert context. But I still think that it is necessary for Susan to state her topic first before continuing to her next anecdote for the first main point. In my opinion, the topic reveal is an important part of a speech to ensure that the audience know and understand the whole idea of speech. Susan Cain is a famous American writer and lecturer who wrote a masterpiece book entitled Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can Stop Talking in 2012. This book was placed among numerous Best of 2012 book lists and named as the best book in 2012 by Fast Company. She was also a lawyer before and worked for 7 years at Cleary, Gottstein and Hamilton, and then continued as a negotiations consultant. She is an inspirational speaker and always gets invited to give the speech about introversion. Throughout almost 20 years of experience in various fields of expertise and career, Susan really made it as a good and credible speaker with the theme of reshaping the culture, the workplace culture and design. Not only that, she was listed in INC magazine as being among 50 most influential management and leadership experts. Of all these outstanding achievements, I strongly believe when Susan Cain managed to deliver the introduction part accordingly to her personal experience and expertise, the audience will get more attracted to her speech as they acknowledge the credibility of the speaker. The audience know that the contents of the speech will surely worth to hear and they will gain something from it.
My name is Yu Yan with the matrix number 279653, and my part would be main point 1, main point 2, and how Susan Cain can improve on these two main points, and also Susan Cain's facial expressions. So on main point 1, it is to understand introverts, and Susan Cain in her speech uses empathy as a way of approach towards the audiences present, as she brought up her story of being an introvert since young, and this could make her and the audiences create a bond and that they could relate to each other on an emotional basis. Firstly, she expounded on a method of suppression that she used to control and to define herself as an introvert. And this can be proven by the quote, "My quiet and introverted style of being wasn't necessarily the right way to go, and that I should be trying to pass as more of an extrovert." And she took on this societal pressure upon herself as she made self-negating choices such as to take on a career that doesn't suit her personality, nor her preference also, just because that she wanted to prove to the society that she can be an extrovert too. And by doing this, she is actually denying her true self. And so through this, we can see the epitome of self-denial. As she tries to prove to the society by being who she isn't. From the journey of self-denial towards self-acceptance, we could see that this speech given by her is actually the loudest silence for all the introverts out there, and to bring forward the message of self-acceptance and to bring forward the message to the society to accept introverts as they are. And through this, she uses supporting materials to support her main first point, by using repetition such as a third to a half of the population are introverts. And by saying this, she's using statistics to further emphasize her point and to make her point come clear to the audiences, and to make it easier understandable, she also uses another statement such as one or two of the people that you know are introverts, and this can make the audiences there realize that introverts are not rare at all. Like, they exist among us, and that we should practice mutual acceptance. And on main point two, it is on bias and introversion. So the first one is the epitome of suppression and self-doubt. And on societal biasness towards introversion, the society actually suppresses introversion, and this leads to introverts doubting themselves, doubting their true selves, and trying to change into something that they are not. And because of this societal biasness, characteristics such as shyness or the fear of social judgment are being attributed to introversion per se. And this is not true. This is a false statement, as shyness and the fear of being judged isn't limited to introverts alone. And both introverts and extroverts, they have preferences and the response to external or internal stimulation in their own unique ways. And for schools and workplaces, Susan Cain explains that they are more designed for extroverts, such as open space offices, and that the children in school are made to do teamwork together, and a bunch of them facing each other. And this can actually slow down the creative process of introverts, for expounding at their ideas, bringing forward their ideas, and this limits them from doing so. And to strike the balance between these extremes, Susan Cain emphasizes that the society should not cancel out one another, that introverts shouldn't cancel out extroverts, and vice versa. And this could lead towards a more conducive and an inclusive environment to help both parties flourish simultaneously. And thus, this false perception of introversion and their characteristics should be denounced. And to support her main point too, which is bias introversion, she also backed up her claims with statistics such as to describe introverts as being shy, or they are afraid of social judgment and all this. And to bring this up, she also explains that school teachers, a vast majority of them, describes the ideal student as being an extrovert, but she brought up the statistics showing that actually introverted students produces better results, and that they are more knowledgeable. And based on this claim that she has made, she shifts the tense atmosphere, or all disagreements that may arise by using bodily language. She laughs it away, and just to ease the tense environment itself.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. My name is NURKHUZAIMAH binti KADRI, matrix number 2798446. And today I will continue the discussion for our club topic, which is main point number 3, introverts and solitude. Okay, first is introverts. Okay, being introverts doesn't mean that they are shy person, doesn't mean they cannot talk. Okay, because introvert person can still talk to other people, but they prefer a calm environment because it will be easier for them to communicate. It will be easier for them to socialize with their small group of friends whom they're close with. Okay, well, for solitude, okay, they prefer, have mentioned that solitude is a key to a creativity. Okay, because introvert person prefer to be alone in a close space, and they prefer to spending their time alone, which is, you can call it the me time alone. Okay, the me time, because from there they can do whatever they want, they can think whatever they want, and this is the way how they recharge their energy, back. Okay, while for supporting materials, the speaker give three most successful people who enjoy solitude. For example, Darwin, Dr. Seuss, and Stephen Wozniak. Okay, and I like how the speaker use her supporting materials, which is she share a little bit of stories why these three persons love solitude. Okay, next opinion. Okay, opinion about main speaker, main points, and supporting material. Okay, first is a main speaker. Okay, for me, the main speaker, she is Susan Ken, and she look good and comfortable and confident while doing the speech, and she managed to elaborate the main points very well. And the main points, okay, the main points. For me, the main points that the speaker use is good main points and can be easily understand. For example, she mentioned that solitude is not a bad thing because actually solitude can be a key. Okay, solitude can be a key to creativity and supporting materials. Okay, for me it is more than enough because she give three names of successful person who enjoy solitude. Okay, when the audience know about it, they feel more motivated. They feel more motivated, especially for introvert people out there. Okay, next is what speaker can do to improve the main point. Okay, first is the speaker should explain more about solitude and what it has to do with introverts. And second is, I think the speaker should should choose at least two names or one names that everyone familiar about. Like for example, maybe Albert Einstein or Mark Zuckerberg, who also known as introvert person.
My name is TILAGA Chandrasekaran and my matric number is 278304 and I'm going to present my speech analysis report and conclusion about the speech. The topic of the speech is mainly for introverts. When we hear the word of introvert, we might think of someone who is shy or quiet and prefer to be alone. And there is much more to this personality type. Whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, it all depends on how we process the world around us. And the thought is passionate and is encouraged and celebrated by introverts who bring extraordinary talents and abilities to the world. Signaling the end of the speech. The speaker states three calls for action for those who share the vision, and the speaker used a word that I'm going to give you now in the last point of the explanation. By using this word, she let the audience know that she will end the speech soon, and the conclusion is summarize the main point and prepare the audience for the end of the speech. Reinforce the central idea. The speaker ended his speech by stating three calls for action for those who share the vision, and action will help shift other results in our opinion in a big way. And taking action results in effective not just our life but others' life too. Finally, the speaker ended with, I wish you are the best of all possible journey and courage to speak softly. And she reinforced the idea that ending was a speech, and the closing action is stated to an introvert. Furthermore, it's relevant because it suits the speech and the action perfectly capture the central idea. What speaker can do to improve the conclusion point? In my perspective, the speaker can end his speech with quotes. And quotes are the representation of an occurrence, and quotes are often used as a literary device to represent someone's point of view. Maybe he can use quotes which are related to introvert and extrovert, such as the biggest mistake an introvert can make is trying to be an extrovert, and the biggest mistake an extrovert can make is trying to be an introvert.
We move on to the speech delivery technique. The first part is the voice. Based on the video, we can see that the speaker, Susan Cain, used various types of technique in giving her speech. It is all about her volume and intonation, speed, pauses, pronunciation, and dialect. She used a moderate volume and intonation while delivering her speech from the beginning until the end. She calmly shared her speech, but sometimes she talked too fast when reaching a certain point in her speech. For example, when she told the audience about the differences between introverts and extrovert leaders, her pace of talking suddenly increased. Maybe because she was being too excited to share her experience of being introvert to the audience. Fortunately, she used to pause her talk several times when she wants to move from one point to the other point in her speech. She also spoke fluently and pronounced every word clearly. Finally, the speaker talked using standard English dialect and chose the simple word for her speech so that all the audience, including the non-English person, could understand her speech easily.
Body and hand gestures. Okay, I think the speaker, which is Susan Kane. Okay, she look comfortable while doing the speech. Okay, she also have a great posture where she stands straight and face the audience with confidence. Okay, especially when she doing the rowdy cheers. Okay, she look enjoying, and then she looks like dancing and really enjoying while recruit the cheers. Okay, next is hand gestures. Hand gestures where the speaker use her hand gestures a lot, and from the video you can see that she move her hand freely and naturally.
For the stage presence and control, that's actually not so much we can comment and react, because from the video I can see that the stage is not too big. But from what I can observe, the speaker managed to control the stage well. She walked around the stage from left to right, tried to interact and communicate with the audience around her instead of just stand still. Susan had also appeared to be calm and patient throughout her speech. All her points were structured well, and she did not rush on the stage during her presentation.
So, from my point of view, my suggestions to better improve these two main points. The first one is to integrate testimonies of introverts. Susan Kane already did this part for herself, but she can probably ask for the testimonies of others and include this in her speech, because this could heighten the emotional appeal towards the audiences and the journey introverts go throughout their entire lives, and also to magnify the aftermath, such as the consequences societal biasness with introversion or their self-suppression has to do with the progression of society. As if the society is limiting, then the human race cannot progress towards a better future. And on the point of facial expression, I would like to touch on the manifestation of emotions by Susan Kane. The facial expressions portrayed by Susan Kane, just to name a few, is throughout the speech, the expression on her face actually radiates empathy, and the audiences there could easily feel it, and that the emotion of near serenity was also felt. Her gentle gaze actually spoke of empathy as well, and her lips and her testimony, a voice to the voiceless, and her light humor and the reserved smile of hers can easily engage the audiences there and to absorb them into her personal stand. And in conclusion, her facial features bore the inaudible joy of excitement to present what she has, and of freedom and release from introversion and her self-suppression, and of her sharing her thoughts and her passion of life to all that is present.
Presentation. The speaker did not use a slide to present the speech, so here the speaker avoids barriers between her and the audience. For her, slides are useless, and one of the strategies to seek audience attention is maintain eye contact with the audience. And the speaker also spent the last year practicing public speaking before the speech. She prepared the moments like this as best she could. The speech that given real experience from the speaker who is being an introvert, and she is describing the things that she's going through in her life. Thank you.
What speaker can do to improve reception? Everything everything is good, but I think the speaker should explore the stage equally to interact comfortably with the audience. Because based on the video, I can see that the speaker only focus on the center and correct side of the stage. And that's all for me. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Based on the talk, I will divide the conclusion to two parts, which is the speaker and the speech topic. First, the speaker. Susan Cain is credited when she made a simple topic become so powerful and important, with her great performance of speech. An introvert person like herself is trying their best to show to the world about their existence and their right. She managed to deliver her speech and overcome all negative stigma on introverts. This shows that she is a good speaker. Next, the speech topic. The topic chosen for this talk is great. People nowadays know the existence of introvert people, but they tend to ignore the right of this group. Introvert people always being misjudged, such as lack of confidence and very shy, but in reality, they are very progressive people and perform well in their life. The difference with them is just they like to work in a peaceful and harmonious environment. They also prefer to try to work by themselves and avoid groupthink. Introvert people always remain calm and cool, yet their achievements are on par with others. The talk and topic itself are simple yet powerful. Susan Cain left the audience with a clear definition and pictures of introverts, that they were positive and should be recognized more by the society.